My inspiration for today's craft are these little sweetheart candies. I decided that I wanted to make a rainbow loom pencil topper. I've been making these for a while, and I wanted to make them using polymer clay, but I wanted to shape them like sweetheart candies. Let's get started. Now first I'll be making my charms, and once I finish making the charms, then I'll get started on the actual pencil topper. Now I found these stickers at Michael's, and they actually look like candy hearts, and I'll be using these for my pencil topper. I actually have one that I took off, and I'll be using this to make the shape of the heart because I'm not very good at making a heart freehand. So I'll just press each of these flat. I have 3 colors because I'm making 3 charms. I've rolled each of the pieces of polymer clay flat to about this thickness, and now what I'll do is I'll just take my little heart and place it right on top with the sticker part down. I'll place it on top of one of my pieces of polymer clay. I'll put the other 2 to the side. I'll be using this little tool, and this is actually a polymer clay tool that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I'll be using this to cut around the heart. So what I'll do is I'll take the curved end and I'll just cut right around the heart, using the heart as a guide. And I'll show you what this looks like. I'm using it as a guide and just cutting right around my heart. I'll go all the way around, and then I can smooth the edges once I'm finished. I'll just cut the pieces off as I go along. Now I cover the other end of it with the plastic that it came with so that I don't cut myself on this sharp end. This is very sharp. So now that I've finished cutting all the way around the edges, I have this heart, but the edges are kind of rough. So what I'll do is I'll use the back of this, and this is my little plastic knife, or you could also use your finger and just smooth the edges out. Now that I've finished smoothing the edges, what I'll do is I'll attach a little eye pin to it. And this is what an eye pin looks like. And these you use for keychains and things like these, and you can also find these at the hobby store. And I cut mine short because a lot of times they come longer. You can cut it with a wire cutter. If you don't have that, you can use nail clippers. Just make sure to cover it while you clip. And then I'll just slide this right in the top like this. And then once I'm finished doing this, I can now remove my little heart sticker from the front. And I have a beautiful little heart charm left, like this. Now I'm working on my last heart. I'm just smoothing it out with my fingers, smoothing the edges out so that they don't look rough. And then taking my little eye pin and sliding it right in the middle. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. Just squeeze it right down in the middle, like this. And then the last thing is, of course, peel off your sticker, because you do not want to bake it with the sticker on. So just peel that off. And now all 3 of my little charm hearts are ready to bake. So now that all of my pencil charms are ready, what I'll do is I'll put them in the oven to bake, and while I do that, I'll get started on my pencil topper. For my pencil topper, I'll be using a rainbow loom. I'll just remove the middle part of it, and I'll only be using these 6 pegs over here. The rubber bands I'll be using will be the same colors as my charms, so I'll be using yellow, purple, and pink. And I'll be starting with my purple. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 purple rubber bands, twist them in the middle till they look like a figure 8, and stretch one from one peg all the way across to the other peg, like this. And then you'll take 2 more rubber bands, do the exact same thing, and put them across the other 2 pegs so that it looks like an X at the bottom. Take 2 more rubber bands, stretch them again like a figure 8, and cross them across the middle. Put them across the middle until it ends up looking like this. Once you're finished doing that, start adding pink. So I'll be adding a pink, and you go from this peg to this peg. Take another pink and go from this peg to this peg. Go all the way around until you get to the other side. This peg to this peg, push them down if you need to. And then this peg to this peg. And then lastly, this peg all the way over here. So this is what it looks like so far. Once you're finished doing that, take your bottom 2 rubber bands, which are your purple, and I'll twist it around so you can see, and then just pull them over, hold your pink down, and pull the 2 purple across until they go to the middle. Do the same thing with this peg. Take the 2 purple across until they go to the middle, and the same thing with this peg. And go all the way around until all the purple are in the middle. Now that this step is finished, this is what it will look like. Push all your rubber bands down again, and now you're going to add another layer of pink. Do the same thing from this peg to this peg to this peg, and work your way all the way around again. Now that you've finished going all the way around, push down your rubber bands, and now you're going to get the bottom pink ones, the bottom two pink, and pull them over until they go to the middle. Your bottom two pink over to the middle. I find that it